All right. Some more Crucible. So we got to Act 3 yesterday. We're kind of being carried currently by our awesome bow, but we do still need some upgrades on some of our other items.
What's up?
We are at the point now where we can start getting 4 socket items and 4 linked items. So if we can happen to get one of those, that would be great.
Don't do anything I would.
So yeah, as far as the quest goes right now, forgetting what my hotkeys are and stuff. Yeah, so as far as the quest goes right now, we are supposed to find Clarissa's boyfriend Tolman. What are we? We're level 26. So, a little bit higher than we need to be, but that's just fine. As long as you're not more than 2 levels above the area level, perfectly fine. But yeah, our shrapnel ballistas are quite powerful. There's these are like the short range shotgun ones. There are some other ones you can get which behave a little bit differently. So we might switch them at some point. There's a really good one, I don't remember what exactly it's called, but it shoots very long range, and it has it shoots very slow, but it has, by default, it like pierces 10 enemies or something ridiculous. So because of that, it's still very good for AoE. Not as good as the shrapnel ballista for shotgunning a boss, but we don't really spend that much time on bosses compared to just killing everything else. You also need to keep an eye out for a new freaking quiver. Alright. On the crematorium, there is a labyrinth trial in this area, so we got to keep an eye out for that. This little book icon on the map. When you're looking for a lab trial, that's usually the indicator of the direction that you need to go. Because there's always a little thing you can read at the entrance to the lab trials. And hello? These guys with the extra life are super tanky. Which in some cases makes enemies very difficult because killing enemies quickly is usually the best way to survive.
Allow your wisdom
Whoops.
to be tempered by the flames
I
of the
didn't mean to
past.
click the portal until after the guy got killed so we could get whatever loot he might have had, but can't do that now. Interesting. So we got multiple rare items here, and we'll take a closer look at that. So, the way I have my loot filter set up is any identified, I think it's any identified rare items always shows. And in this case, I have it so any corrupted items have a red border on them. Wait, is corrupted the right word for it? Yeah, corrupted. So, what a corrupted item is a item with locked stats, basically. Because we saw last video that there's the crafting station where you can add like resistance or other things to some of your items. In this case, though, when an item is corrupted, you can't modify it in basically in any way. There's technically like a couple exceptions, but for the most part, we can't modify this at all. So that means we can't add sockets to it with the right item. We can't change the color of the sockets with the chromatic orbs. We can't add crafted affix to it. So these items are locked in that way, but they also drop with generally better stuff on them than regular rares do. So when you get these sort of things, they can be quite good. So yeah, that's the explanation. So now we're gonna look through them all, see if any of them are very good. And we can also just sell them all, even if we don't want to use any of them. So, obviously we're not going to use a claw. This bow has very low rolls on its stuff, so we're not going to use that. Nowhere near as good as our bow. This chainmail and chainmail. So let's take a closer look at these, because our armor isn't that great. And these are both actually 3 links, so they're probably better than what I got. Yeah, they're roughly the same as far as the their armor instead of evasion, but otherwise they're basically the same as our same tier as our current armor. This one has some life regen and some resistances. That's pretty nice. This one has a little less resistances. A little bit more on these other stats. They're both decent. Like, compared to what I have right now. I'd say they're both a little bit of an upgrade, probably. I'm not sure if I want that intelligence. Otherwise, the 8 life regen per second is probably what I want. Stacking life regen this early in the game is quite strong. We are looking at having even fewer green gem slots, though. So that part's not ideal. But I think we're still gonna use it anyways. Just comparing them still. We can put a green gem in this white slot, so we can still keep our caustic arrow. We're losing the volley support on it. Or we might as well throw in this added lightning damage support, but that's a very weak support gem for caustic arrow. So when we get back to town, we should look more at getting better support gems. I don't know if there's really a red support gem worth putting in there right now. We could just put in the added fire damage support, but that's... Since our bow is mostly elemental damage, and the caustic arrow is mostly the chaos damage over time, puddle damage, that does almost nothing. And the lightning damage support's also really bad, but like it only affects the initial hit of the caustic arrow. So that's why I keep saying it's so bad. Same thing with the fire damage. They don't affect the damage over time at all. So that's why we really need better support gems for that. We might end up rotating gem slots around depending on what color gem slots we get and stuff. We might put some different abilities in various spots. But anyways, going down here, we're gonna get the good old juicy 10% life. We're gonna also go for this evasion rating and armor significant buff and all resistances. Very good stuff. This guy's tanky as hell. God. Just kill it. Another one of these champion guys with extra life. They're just so tanky. Burning arrow. Let me buy. Alright. So we're just trying to get to this area over here. We got a little mini boss fight type of thing where we're finally gonna fight Piety here. She's the one shooting all this lightning crap at us. So we gotta kill all the guard guys also. So
enough of this.
Yep. So she teleports on out of there. Meanwhile, we found Tolman. He is he didn't make it. So Clarissa's not going to be too happy about that. And she gives us the keys to the sewer because I don't know why. But at least we get a quest reward from her friend over here. So let's see what we got. We can get, there's a whole bunch of curses here, which are decent. You can curse enemies to have less resistance so that your elemental attacks do more damage, which is great for our build right now. What does our shrapnel ballista do as far as physical damage? Okay, shrapnel ballistas deal a significant amount of physical damage. Let's see, hatred, wrath. Yeah, there's things for doing extra fire damage and lightning damage and cold damage. But those are auras, which reserve half of your mana. Currently we are using how much mana for our vitality aura? 74 mana. We're using about a third of our mana right now. So we could use one of these, because we're not using clarity right now since we don't have the socket for it. But yeah, I think we might as well equip anger. Well, we'll take anger. And then we'll see. We'll see what we can buy.
Need some help.
Because now that we completed that quest, we can actually buy additional options here. We'll see if there's anything else that's really good for us. But these are all active skill gems. So they're not gonna solve our problems with shitty support gems for some of our abilities. Yeah, no, we're not gonna take any of those. Um, I feel like maybe there was one in Act 2. Let's see. Okay, so caustic arrow is what we really want.
Farewell.
I knew this threat.
A
I am not
better support for. Oh yeah, vicious projectiles. So, vicious projectiles will make our caustic arrow deal significantly more damage with the puddle. Oh wait, that's a green one. Damn it. We don't have a green slot for that unless we switch things around. Is there a... Yeah. It's definitely a good support gem. But... Yeah, our blue options just suck right now. Is there a red one at least we could get that's better than this? Damage on full life is pretty good. We'll buy this damage on full life.
remember to live.
So as long as we're at full health, that makes that ability do 20% more damage. But yeah, let's get back to the quest line here, and hopefully we will we could also check the vendor if there was like a better pair of gloves for us. But get back over here. We need to go to the sewer, which we saw at some point this way. So yeah, we got the key to go in here.
Remembered only for the mess you leave behind. Far too much baggage.
Yeah, we should have sold some stuff. That's my bad. So there is a question here that I would have if I talked to the NPC to pick it up, but you don't need to pick up the quest before doing the quest. So we're going to these little exclamation marks on the map. We gotta get, I can't remember, it's 3 or 4 of these little statue things. And then we're trying to go this way,
Left to its own devices,
but
all of Rayclast would come to be this
it's
way.
blocking the way. Alright. Grab ourselves our life. What do I have? Have grand life flasks. Yeah, we're not gonna have enough inventory space for everything. So we're just running down this way. Sometimes you have to go down this way to find one of these statue things for the quest. And sometimes you don't have to go down this way. So we just ran down that way a little bit to see if the exclamation mark shows up on the mini map or the overlay map. And it did not, so I think we don't have to go farther that way. We got another essence thing over here. And then also the Crucible League mechanic thing. So alright. We got that. Now we don't care too much about this. I don't think we can use that. I think we have to choose one of these. Wait. Oh. I'm not sure what's going on. Thought I was supposed to click something, but clicking something doesn't seem to do anything. Alright. So another essence, which we will be trying to save. Interesting. So the essences always do different things. This one is one that I usually would use on like a wand, for example, if I was playing a wand character. But actually we can use it on a quiver. We don't want to use it on my quiver because my quiver has a very low item level because we got it early in the game. So we would want to use it on like a current type of item level quiver. But I don't think I have my loot filter showing non-rare quivers at this point in the game. So yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna do with
Far
that.
too much baggage.
Shit. We'll drop the axe, I guess.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
got a waypoint here. Let's go back to town. Turn in that quest.
Victor, the Beatles.
We get a skill point out of that. And then we're also gonna sell all this other stuff here.
What's going on?
Good old control click. And then we wanted to look if he's got any 4-link gloves. Only 4-link. 4-link anything would be great, but not quite. This is a 4-link helmet, but we don't really care about red and blue sockets that much. So it would be kind of a waste. We really want lots of green sockets for our bow skills.
Bring me peace.
But with our skill point, get ourselves some max life here and life regen. And also that point unlocks our next point to be able to spend it on life mastery. Because in the life mastery, that plus 50 maximum life is really good. Because it scales with all these other things that give you percentage max life. So it's not gonna just give us 50 more life, it's gonna give us significantly more than that. I don't know exactly how much. You'd have to calculate it based on how much total percent life you have. But trust me, it's really good. So because this is our first character, we do need to come in here to do this lab trial. So there's a lab trial somewhere in here. Okay, now I can select where we're going. So I think we're going towards intelligence. We don't really need intelligence, though. And it's gonna take away our default, it's gonna give us 120 intelligence, but it's gonna take away the plus mana and plus energy shield that intelligence gives us. So it's really not that desirable. The way we're really going to get any value out of it is if we are using skill gems that require high intelligence. Locked door. What's going on? Things have weird
An emperor
paths.
must bear two blades. Hope
All right.
in the left hand.
We could portal out of here and go back to the waypoint, but I want to go down here because there's a ball side area on the map. So we're gonna go do that. We can find the entrance. Oh my god, we went like the wrong way. That's annoying. We want to get the vault side area. See if we get any good ball skill gems or any more good corrupted items. So yeah, these things also, forgot to mention, the areas themselves are more difficult. So in this case, this one gives you minus maximum resistance. So later in the game, when you really want your resistance to be amped, that causes you to take a significant amount more damage of elemental damage. So that can be pretty scary. But we are... Oh, we actually are capped on a couple resistances right now. Interesting. Yeah. But for the most part, this early in the game, losing max resist doesn't really matter. We're gonna get that plus 50 max life to make ourselves a bit more tanky. And here we go. Shouldn't be too bad. We're still pretty fiddling with our build. I don't know if it's worth killing these extra guys. Essentially, just for experience. I mean, they could drop loot also, but you never kill random regular monsters expecting to get loot out of it. You also get a lot bigger chunks of experience off of like rares and bosses and stuff, so it's not that great. Alright, we got a div card, which I'm not really even going to explain until we have enough. And then we got a couple abilities here. One's a big spell and one's a melee damage ability. So neither of those can be used with our bow. So not too exciting. So we'll go back to moving on. There is a quest item here. This is a optional quest, which does not really give you a important reward. So I consider it worth picking up the item if you go past it, but I would never go through this zone looking for that item. That's actually a rare strength amulet. We're still using a intelligence amulet from a long time ago. If we take off our intelligence amulet, we still have enough intelligence to use our blue skill gems. So, yeah. So this strength one, oh, this strength one has intelligence on it also anyways. That's pretty good. We are losing 4 to 6 physical damage to attacks, which is, well, we're losing 3 to 4 physical damage to attacks because this one has some. But yeah, it's interesting. This amulet has a lot of stats on it. Really, 4 to 6 damage to attacks. Losing that kind of hurts. But these stats are pretty good. Not that our build really has trouble with stats currently. The only thing we're really low on is the intelligence, because we get so many dexterity nodes through here, and then we've gotten a few nodes that have strength on them also. So we have pretty good amounts from all that stuff. So yeah, the stats, they're not that important. In that that amulet's not like really allowing me to do anything at the moment that I can't do without it, but where are we? Oh yeah, we're at the battlefront. Oh look, another Vol side area. Area contains many totems. Monsters steal power, frenzy, and endurance charges. I think we're not using frenzy anymore. We're using burning arrow. And then yeah, some other stuff tells you about you get increased rewards because of those negative modifiers. These strongbox things are always guarded by packs of monsters. What? Oh. The thing was... My loot filter always shows uniques. So I was so confused that we got the unique thing going, but I didn't see the thing for it. But it's just because it was hiding behind the other UI. Alright, so it is a copper plate. 344 armor. That's pretty good. Reduced chaos damage taken over time. That's like poison damage and stuff. Chaos damage does not bypass energy shield is great. Minus chaos damage. Alright, this is a very anti-chaos damage armor. It's not... It's a relatively low level item. It just happens to have a decent amount of armor on it because it has 71% increased armor. But the other stuff on it isn't very good. So I'd say it's not actually better than our current armor. because there's relatively little sources of chaos damage this early in the game. Well, really throughout the game, there's relatively few sources of chaos damage. But later in the game, you usually have relatively little chaos resistance. So it can be quite deadly. But early on in the game, having chaos resistance is not very useful. So we will save that and put that in the stash, but like it would have been useful like 10 levels ago. Or it's required level 17. So yeah, 10 levels ago we could have used that. But at this point, no. Alright, Vol Smite, that's another melee ability. Elegant Sword, we are... Well, we're gonna grab these. The, yeah, we're gonna grab these. They're not that good, but we're just gonna sell them because we are actually really close to a waypoint. So again, we shall...
What's up?
Sell. We want to identify this rare ring. Cold damage, lightning damage. It's not a super terrible ring this early in the game. I don't think we want it over this ring because this ring gives us decent damage. This one gives us some damage and life. So yeah, we're not gonna use that ring. We're not gonna use this jewel. So yeah, we're selling all that stuff. We're gonna check again if the guy's selling any good 4-link items. Gloves, helmets, boots. I'm not sure if he actually refreshed his stuff.
Stay out of the shadows.
Alright, put that in the stash. Put some other stuff in the stash. Whoops. We need to change this to... I guess do that. Change this to take essences. So our essences go to that tab. And then I guess we'll sell these
What's up?
life flasks for the next higher one.
Bring me back something nice, eh?
And yeah, let's get back to moving ahead in the stuff. Leveling up. All that good stuff. Oh, there's a thing I have on my mini-map here. Some item on the ground. Fusing orb. So a fusing orb changes the links between sockets in an item. So you can go from sockets being unlinked to being linked. But you could also go from having sockets that are linked becoming unlinked. So it's just a roll of the dice. But yeah, you don't want to use a fusing orb this early in the game. You want to at least use them to get a good, like if you get a good rare item with 4 sockets, then you would use fusings to try to make those sockets linked. But it's not really worth trying to link fewer sockets. Except for one-handed weapons can only have 3 sockets in them, so you can use a fusing orb to link those sockets if you really need to.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
We leveled up again. We already have our 50 max life, so let's get the evasion and resistance stuff. Armor, evasion, resistance. That stuff is quite nice. Helps keep us very tanky. This docks area also happens to be higher item level, or sorry, higher monster level than some other stuff. We're probably gonna use this amulet for now. We're gonna keep the other one with all the stats on it. But this one gives us life and more damage. So, yeah. We might need the stats one again at some point. So yeah, we are just running around the map looking for a couple things. There's a waypoint, which you don't really need. There is that guy that we killed in Act 1, Fairgraves, the ghost pirate guy. He's here, and he's the one we need to give this Decanter Spiritus to, which, like I mentioned, is a optional quest, so it's not important. It's not important that we do so. But we also need to get a quest item from this area. So that might be it on the map down there. Yellow exclamation mark. So yeah, that's what we really need to be here for. We could just teleport out now, but we'll just do this real quick and get that item out of our inventory. So yeah, we didn't really need to come back to town. We want to come back to the battlefront here, and we need to go north. Around the wall. So we have to go into the temple, or whatever they call it. Solaris Temple.
It seems that even time loses its will in Rayclast.
So this is that quest item that we were at the docks for. This one is just another case of the whole you can grab the quest item before you even get the quest. Because the quest to actually get that item, you actually do through this area. Which is... So the docks is kind of a later area than this area. Which is why it's... The docks actually had a higher monster level. So... You could actually farm for a few levels some really good experience in the docks if you want to. But we really don't need to, so. If you're one of those people that rushes past enemies a lot more, though, then maybe you would. If you get to a point where you're struggling to kill enemies, or you're feeling too vulnerable, like you really want a couple more levels for more skill points. Yeah, we're just coming through here looking for an NPC who is kind of annoying. She gives you some stupid nickname that she keeps using, and then it's like, bruh. I'm not gonna even use that Crucible thing anymore until we get a new weapon. It's just kind of a waste of time right now. Right.
You and
so the most useful of these amulets would be the one that we have the least stats of, which is intelligence. So
the cockroaches.
We're gonna choose the intelligence amulet and see what we get. Spell damage, cold damage, crit multiplier, life regen. Yeah, spell damage, percent spell damage doesn't really help us. Percent cold damage doesn't really help us because we aren't doing any cold damage as far as I'm aware. Except for from our current amulet, we have added cold damage to attacks, but we'd lose that anyways if we equip this amulet. Crit strike multiplier isn't very good until you get lots of crit chance. And then life regen is pretty good. So if I was like a spellcaster character doing cold spells, that'd be decent. But then if you're a spellcaster character, then you have a bunch of intelligence already. So then the intelligence wouldn't really help you. So I don't know. It's not very good. Anyways, she gave us this new quest item to destroy that wall that was in the sewers. So that's where we're going right now. And then our next quest is to kill General Gravicius or something like that. But we have another skill point here. Let's put that in there. But now we have more armor and evasion rating and elemental resistances. We can look at our defenses here. Our armor is reducing physical damage by 59%. That's pretty good. Our evasion rating is giving us a 51% evasion. Evasion is essentially dodge, but it's a it's like a consistent dodge mechanic. It's not purely random where you can get 20 dodges in a row or 0 dodges in a row 20 times. Or like 20 non-dodges. However you want to phrase that. But both of these are good amounts. If you're above 50% on both armor and evasion, you're in a pretty good spot for defenses. So that's good. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we're getting our resistances up. Our lightning resist isn't great right now, but we are maxed on fire resistance and cold resistance. And specifically, the guy we're about to kill does a lot of fire damage. So that's why we kept this fire resistance ring around for quite a while, is for this guy. There's also a guy in Act 5 that does a lot of fire damage. But obviously we're already maxed, so we probably aren't going to end up needing this ring at all. But yeah. Let's go kill him. Should be pretty easy because we are pretty good on the defenses. And he can take a while to kill because he's tanky, but he's only really dangerous if you have low fire resistance. Alright, we have a new bow which does a significant amount of damage. Interesting. Compare that to our current bow. That might be an upgrade. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at our current DPS of our shrapnel ballista with 108. I'm gonna switch the bows. Shrapnel ballista DPS goes to 178. So that's definitely an upgrade there. We can also look at burning arrow. 2000 DPS goes down to 1100 DPS. So yeah, pretty good upgrade there. And then caustic arrow is not going to really matter. I don't think the chaos damage per second of the puddle is going to change. Yeah, the chaos damage per second of the puddle didn't change. The DPS that it shows on the hover over, that's only from the initial hit of the caustic arrow. So that went up a pretty good chunk also. So yeah, we are now at a Pretty good upgrade. Sweet. So we're doing physical damage, cold damage, lightning damage, and then we're also doing lots of fire damage with the burning arrow. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, we're really gonna make quick work of the General Gravicius now. What was that? A 3-link gloves. We really want 4 links. Although, yeah, we can't really give up. If these were green sockets, they would definitely be better than our current gloves because they're a much higher tier of item. But without the green sockets, we're gonna hold off. Here's General Gravicius. I don't know why he's he's always seems to have like, it looks sort of like he has like a Santa hat on. I'm not sure if he's supposed to have a Santa hat on or if it just looks that way. But yeah, that guy is, he can be significantly difficult. But with our brand new bow upgrade that we got like 2 minutes ago and our high amount of tankiness, he wasn't a problem at all. So yeah, now we are going to the Lunaris Temple. We were in the Solaris Temple earlier. Now this is the Lunaris Temple. So then the other one was like for the sun, and this one's for the moon. Got this thematic thing going on. And we're coming in here specifically for Quest to Kill Piety, who we ran into a few times before. And we fought her down to half health when we were at the start of Act 3 for the Tolman quest. But yeah, now we are doing a quest to actually kill her. We don't actually have the quest yet, but if we were to go to town, talk to the NPCs, then we would have the quest. So there was a ghost thing that like jumped into this enemy, and that makes those guys significantly more difficult when the ghost does that. Oh, he's hiding back here. So it's if you can kill the ghost before it jumps in an enemy, that's quite recommended. We have a few of those smaller rare items. Actually, since we killed, I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's after you kill General Gravicius. The quest reward is more skill gems. I don't recall if they are support gems or active gems, but let's go look at that right now. Okay. These are active gems. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, some of these. Oh, I completely forgot. Our bow has green sockets now. Shit. We could use a fusing orb on it. I don't know if I want to. Oh, I was thinking this was a different ability. Cyclone. There's a tornado ability where you like summon a tornado. But Cyclone is like a whirlwind from Diablo. Barbarian. But yeah, let's see what else there is. Shit, there's so many things in here. Artillery ballista, no. Can't remember when you actually get siege ballista. It might have been in Act 1 and I overlooked it back then. Yeah, I don't think we're taking any of these abilities.
Be careful.
We are close to getting a bunch more passive skill gems though. So that will be quite nice. We need the passives. But yeah, I'm still contemplating if I use a fusing orb to link sockets for the bow. We would end up with at least every time you use a fusing orb, it always changes the links. So if you have 0 links, it always will give you at least 1 link. It could give us both of them linked together. So we could end up with either a 2 link or a 3 link from using the fusing orb, which the bow can have more sockets, so it can have, at this point in the game, it could have 4, because it's a 2-handed weapon, whereas 1-handed weapons cap out at 3 sockets.
I know of only one woman capable of such depravity.
So yeah.
Piety.
Alright, let's see what the mastery is here. They changed up some of the masteries. Immune to poison or bleeding or increased armor and evasion or... So the increased armor if you haven't been hit recently, or evasion if you have been hit recently. That one's pretty good. Also, 80% increased stun and block recovery is probably pretty good too. But we're gonna just move on past this stuff for now. we might spend a mastery point later. But we're gonna move down to the totem damage like I was talking about yesterday. But yeah, we are here to kill Piety. Since I'm more tanky and do more damage than I used to do, I'm a lot more willing to use my dash ability to move around, not having to save it as much for defensive situations. Silk robe, that's an intelligence thing, which we don't have the int for with our current setup. So I'm not sure if our amulet gives us enough int for it anyways. So I don't know. Let's identify it, see what it's got. Not terribly good. Those are low rolls for the increased energy shield, but 20 life per second is pretty decent. And of course it's 3-link armor, which we want 4 links at this point in the game, but getting a rare item with 4 links is extremely rare at this point in the game. I mean, it's pretty rare in general. But later in the game, a lot more items drop, so it's much more common. But the actual chances of a dropped rare item having 4 link sockets is definitely not very high. Oh yeah, since we got a new bow, we can use these Crucible things to see what new stuff we can get. So yeah, there's the new bow. Let's see what we're unlocking. Seems like I'm still being too light on the how long you hold it down for part. Those guys running. Anyways, here's Spidey. We also want to make sure we get the crafting recipe.
I see it now, Wonder Child. You are but a reflection, a mirror that I must now break.
I don't know why these little portal things have health, but they do.
You have no idea, do you?
And she's kind of getting owned.
Damn you.
Normally, she causes a bit more trouble.
You should die. 1,000
Um,
done.
let's identify these gloves. Nah, not too useful. Like the belt. And we'll just get out of here.
Parties.
Belt could be okay. Nope. We're gonna sell this other stuff without even identifying it. Yeah, we'll just sell these.
Bring me back something nice, huh?
And then we gotta go to Grigor over here for our quest reward for killing Heidi.
You must leave.
Another skill point. And then, oh,
You have claim.
oh, never mind. We already looked at this. I never decided on what to buy.
Go with courage.
We'll just grab one of these. And usually I just kind of throw all the gems into a tab. All the extra gems that I want to keep. So you can assign gems to a tab, even if you haven't bought the gem specific tab. So, for example, we're gonna throw all these Vol gems that we've been collecting in here. I forgot we got anger and then we never equipped it. Whoops. Because now we don't even have a extra red socket for it anyways. We'll put that in there because it's got quality on it. We really want to just sell Spectral Throw. Or we don't really have to sell it, but any gems that we're not really using, but we want to keep, we're just going to throw in here. So, yeah. We might go back to using Frenzy at some point, so we're gonna keep that in the inventory. Same with some of these support gems. We should sell that. We have a jewel here. Not terribly useful. The jewels go in the passive tree where you have to unlock a jewel slot and then you can put it in there. But jewels have a very wide variety of stats that can go on them. And getting a combination of stats that works well for your build is not super frequent. So yeah, we have a jewel slot here we could get with 1 point, a jewel slot here we could get with 1 point, and we could get to this one with 2 points. But it's going to be a while before we actually have jewels that we really want to put in there. So we're not going to allocate those points until we have the jewels that we want for it. Let's throw all this stuff in here. Quest item. We're gonna sell that also.
What's
Not the
going
quest item, the other stuff. Alright. We have cleaned up our inventory. Forward! So we're going back to the Ebony Barracks, where we killed General Gravicius. And we're just gonna go north-ish to find the gardens. So there is a labyrinth trial in this area. We're gonna do it a little bit later. It's basically always straight north, but we want to find the waypoint first, and we're gonna do a couple other things. So we're gonna kind of follow this main path to try to get the waypoint, which is usually northeast/north of the starting area, or the entrance to this area where we came in at. We have not run into waypoint yet. We have run into the plum. So for that quest earlier, the optional quest at the docks with Fairgraves, this plum was the other piece to that. So we have to go back to the docks to turn that in. If you don't happen to run across this quest item on your way to look for other things, no big deal. I don't remember what the quest even gives because it's not important. It doesn't give you a skill point. But yeah, let's go totem damage. And yeah, we are gonna get, in the next several points, we're gonna get a massive amount of totem damage. It's gonna be great.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
Alright, so that's our waypoint. Now we're going northwest to find the library. Although let's keep going north here. Let's do the labyrinth trial. It's probably that little area up there. It's always in approximately the same location. The layout for this map is not fixed, but it's always like relatively the same shape. This area is primarily just
An emperor must know precisely where
these
he
stupid
stands.
arrow things that shoot at you, but you don't really gotta spend a bunch of time trying to dodge them. You just rush through and get to the end. So yeah, now we're in the library. And it's kind of an order I'm going to do things here. Actually, never mind. We're just going to do the library quest. I was thinking of, there's a waypoint in the library, and then you may wish to... Well, first of all, let's be clear. The library is optional. But the library quest gives you more support gems as the quest reward. And then it also lets you buy all skill gems up to all the skill gems from earlier in the game from this one guy. So it's not as convenient on the Scion class, who can buy almost everything from the other vendors already. But for all the other classes, this is a extremely useful quest to do. But I still recommend it on all the classes just because of the support gems that you get from it. I think speedrunners probably don't do this quest. Because later in the game, you can get access to a vendor that sells all the skill gems in the game. Or technically not all of them, but all the ones that you can buy from vendors. But this one just lets you get all the earlier ones sooner. Because that's at like level 50 or so when you get access to the other vendor. What this death bow does. Not too good. Alright. Yeah, the quest is we need to find the archives, which has like a hidden entrance where you have to click on a candle. So we need to keep our eyes out for that. The entrance is not marked on the map, so you gotta actually look for the candle. There'll be text over the candle. Here it is, loose candle. So that's how you gotta get here. And then now we gotta find the 4 golden pages and then just take them back to the guy. Very simple quest. Dead end. Alright, a little more totem damage, and then next point we get lots of totem damage. Forget. Oh, so we got these boots here. Interesting. They are armor and evasion boots. So yeah, we might use one of our essences that's in our stash to turn this into a rare set of boots. The golden pages. I think shrines stack in this game, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while. There's 2 more golden pages. Yeah, this stack. One more golden page. So we take those back to the library. Now we get more support gems. So, fire penetration support works pretty well with burning arrow, because burning arrow is lots of fire damage. However, our new bow has a bunch of cold damage and lightning damage on it. So our burning arrow is far from being pure fire damage. It's only like, let's see. It's only around 50% fire damage. So fire penetration support's not as good as we would like it to be. I still might grab it, because these other ones are not very useful for our build. So yeah, we're gonna grab that. And then you can see we have access to lots of skill gems. Everything up to the level 31 skill gems. So Trinity support's pretty good, considering using that. That's a good blue skill support gem. Oh yeah, especially if we're gonna use these boots. Let's see. Yeah, if we use these boots, we're definitely gonna need blue gems to put in there. So Trinity support's a good one. Yeah, we don't actually have the currency to buy this right now, because it's in the stash in town, and the game doesn't pull stuff out of the stash for you for this vendor. So we need to actually go back to town and grab some stuff, see what we have, see what we can buy. We don't have a lot of currency at this point in the game, so some of the stuff we might not even be able to buy. I think his most expensive ones cost chance orbs. I don't think anything costs alchemy orbs yet. And then the more cheaper ones are alteration orbs and transmutation orbs. I don't think anything costs augmentation orbs, but let's just grab them just in case. And then the really cheap ones cost scrolls of wisdom, but we have plenty of those in our inventory. Yeah, we are looking for any additional good passive gems for us. Hmm. I know there's a chaos damage over time one, but I don't remember if it's one that you get later in the game. Like it actually adds chaos damage over time. But it's actually, it's generally kind of weak because it's damage over time. You don't really want to use it with an ability that you use frequently because it doesn't like stack in any way. But I was thinking, I think it is a blue gem, so that's what I was considering trying to find it. But yeah, our options aren't very good. This actually does cost an org of alchemy. But I think that's our best option. Oh, I forgot about lightning damage. Okay. Shoot. Shrapnel ballista with Pierce. Still never really figured out if the prismatic burst is even properly works with the totem. But we're gonna switch this stuff around. We're gonna take off damage on full life here for caustic arrow. Moving caustic arrow over. And that will allow us to get vicious projectiles for 30% more chaos damage over time on our caustic arrow. While keeping elemental damage with attacks on our burning arrow. And then we will put Trinity support. I think we want Trinity support with our burning arrow. And then for caustic arrow, we need a blue gem still. So I guess we're gonna use the lightning damage support we already have. We could put added chaos damage on it, but we're kind of losing a lot of DPS on our burning arrow by losing faster attack support. But is there some other chaos damage thing I'm missing? More damage over time, more skill effect duration. That's a good thing to put with caustic arrow. Efficacy support. Alright, so we need one more blue skill gem to go with our ballista. Let's just put the prismatic one back on there. We'll identify this, see if it's any good. No.
Fortune favor.
Alright, let's go back to town. Let's clear out our inventory real quick.
Hello.
Sell, 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 sell. Let's identify this mana flask. So we really don't need 2 mana flasks. We barely need 1.
Stay out of the shadows. They bite.
I forgot about that. Orb of Binding upgrades a normal item to a rare item with up to 4 linked sockets. Very, very nice item to have at this point in the game. So we can get white gloves with 0 sockets on it. Put this on it, and it turns into a rare item with a 4 links. It's freaking sweet.
Still breathing, eh?
We would want to do it specifically with gloves that have evasion rating so that they have the highest chance of getting green sockets on them. Or similar if we wanted to replace the helmet. But our gloves are still our weakest link right now, so it's gloves that we are most interested in getting. But yeah, these gloves aren't
Don't do anything.
the right types for what we want. So yeah, let's continue. Wait, did we... Sorry. So we are pretty much at the end of Act 3 right now. And since we did all the Labyrinth trials, this opens up. If you missed a Labyrinth trial, this does not open up. So we're gonna go do the Labyrinth right now.
Gates of the Lord's Labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of Justice doth preside. Justice will prevail.
So you can do this after the Act 3 boss if you want. I think this is supposed to be slightly more difficult than the Act 3 boss, based on the levels of the monsters. But we are a little over leveled, so we are totally fine to be here. We're just kind of running around trying to find the exit to the next level each time.
Your death is a mercy.
The weary traveler draws
Make sure you
close
grab
to the
your
end of the
crafting recipe.
An emperor is only as efficient as those he commands.
And yeah. We gotta fight this boss guy a few times.
Choose your path.
He's pretty tanky. But we are still doing good with our bow.
You are inexhaustible. My 3 lieutenants remain.
Otherwise, you might spend a couple minutes fighting that guy.
I suppose.
He's harder when you fight him later. Because you fight him later in the game also. And there's like extra mechanics and stuff. I feel like this Trinity gem is not working as well as I intended. But I could be wrong. It just feels bad having my burning arrow shoot so slow. I don't know if we even need to run through here. It's the labyrinth.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death.
Oh, we got another skill point, so. More totem damage!
Lend strength to one's enemies.
So yeah, these things around the room,
Claim your
like,
inheritance.
buff the boss when they get to full life. And they're like standing up like that, so if you don't do good damage, it's pretty scary.
Wisdom is the offspring of suffering and time.
Great. Dead end. My favorite. Actually, I think, yeah. I think we don't want to go that way. But watch your health. If you decide to run through the fire like this, make sure you use those health potions. Yeah, we're still just trying to get to the end, to the next area. You can look at the map thing here to see, make sure that we're moving forwards. Occasionally you can get a situation where you find another area and it's actually going not the direction that you want to go. So, we want to go this way. If we found the area that went this way, that would be undesirable.
An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep those promises. Our throne is the most devious trap of them all. Rise to the occasion. Triumphant at last. Before your emperor, you are worthy. Before the goddess of justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts.
Identify a few of these items here.
For this is the ending that we deserve.
Not terrible. Not that we need a shield, because we're using a bow. This spell's pretty good. Resistances and life and energy shield. Forgot our current belt is pretty good. We'll keep this belt, but I'm not gonna equip it. Alright, so at the Divine Font, you can put in a pair of gloves and it will make those gloves magical. Now, our gloves suck, but if you don't use it, you lose it, so we might as well put it in there anyways. So, there's a cooldown on this, but every time we kill enemies, it'll do a thing. Now, as the Scion, we can only choose one option here, which is the Ascendant. Other classes have 3 different ascendancies that you can choose, but we're kind of the special class, the Jack of all trades one, so.
You are the sculptor, crafting your destiny with the clay of mind.
So we've chosen to be an Ascendant. Now we have 2 Ascendancy points, so it's like this little mini passive tree. So we get 2 now, we'll get a total of 8 if we get to late game. So you're very limited on these things. So you gotta be very careful how do you choose them. You want to plan for your build properly. So I'm doing a bow build. It may sound like it makes a lot of sense to go for the bow ascendancy, which is called Deadeye. But the problem with the Deadeye is that it's basically purely offensive, whereas a hardcore character, you play until you die, and usually you survive longer if you go a little more defensive, because you can kill things quickly if you do more damage, but you can also just get one shot sometimes, so you don't want to be one shot. So I will have to think about this a bit. I'm not sure what exactly I'll play. I've done Raider in the past. Raider is pretty great. Just with the... It gives you a bunch of good bonuses for Raider. There's some other ones that are pretty good also. But I don't recall what else I went for on my bow build specifically. So I'll think about it a bit. Spending points right now isn't too important. You can spend 2 points, which will give you some stats and an extra passive point for the rest of the tree. But it's not till we level up the second time that we can get one of these much stronger points from our ascendancy. So, not too important that we spend it right now. Instead, we are gonna move on to finishing Act 3 here. And then we're gonna try to rush through Act 4. I wasn't sure if we'd have time for Act 4, but I think we're gonna have time for Act 4. Act 4 is on the short side. Oh, we never went back to the docks to give the guy the plum. We gotta do that still. So that chest thing had a freezes you when you open it thing. That can be quite dangerous if you are squishier. Or just in general later in the game. Enemies can kill you faster. So you want to eventually get either immunity to being frozen, or you can make your flasks magical, and you can have a effect on your flask that it if you're frozen, it'll unfreeze you. So yeah, it's something to watch out for. You can also have problems if you get stunned later in the game. If you get stunned for 2 seconds, you just die. Because monsters swarm you and kill you very quickly. Or they use some big attack that you're supposed to normally dodge, but you can't dodge because you're stunned. So yeah, if you can get stun immunity in your build, that's highly recommended. Or hardcore. If you're not playing hardcore, who cares? So yeah, once we get to the top of the tower here, we fight the Act 3 boss and move on to Act 4.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
Let's do this. Let me actually get rid of this bow. It's just cluttering up the UI every time we go to one of these. Alright. Held that down longer than normal. Let's see what we got. Damn. thought we'd get like rare kind of monsters, but maybe they just all stay normal and they just scale up their stats on them. In which case it's very hard to tell what to expect from those things. It gives you a false sense of security when you don't see any champions or rare monsters. Because normally it's the rares that have a bunch of modifiers on them that can kill you very quickly. You almost never die from normal monsters. Give card.
I offered the gift of exile, and you used it to reinvent yourself. I couldn't wish for a more potent tombstone.
I think this guy was like originally the final boss of Path of Exile because he's like the guy that does the narration that like exiles you at the start of the game.
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile? Nightmare prevails! The touch of God! Die!
So yeah, as with all bosses in this game, if you are well equipped to deal with them, it's pretty easy. Obviously, he does a bunch of lightning damage kind of stuff, which we have not maxed our lightning res, but if you don't get hit by his main things, it's no problem. So, yeah, easy boss fight. And that's basically it for Act 3. We're sort of not really in Act 4 until we get to town. So, we'll be doing that. Another frozen when you activate the chest. I really should drop my turrets before opening those. Sometimes I'm just kind of lazy. With that level up, we are now 3 levels above the monster level. So, not great to spend more time here than we need to. Oh. Got a dude with a freaking life regen causing trouble here.
Far too much baggage.
Alright, let's identify some boots here, I guess. But even if they're good, we don't really want to give up our 4-link boots. So they'd have to be like really good. Got a unique here. What do we got? Realm Shaper. Yeah, not too good. Does some elemental damage, but obviously we're not gonna use it because it's a staff. But also it's required level 13, I think it said, which was quite a while ago. Keep forgetting we really need to get ourselves a new quiver. Alright. Maybe the town, we're selling some stuff, These boots are relatively good for a caster. So I'm curious what's this one got on it. Nope. I think I was gonna keep that belt.
You will be remembered.
But anyways, we need to go down here next. Oh, and welcome to Act 4.
The Empire didn't need a cataclysm. It created its own desolation.
We're just coming down to kill a boss in this area somewhere and get an item off of them. This big blue circle thing is a mana drain thing, which is really annoying. So
until we slaughter you.
a gem cutter's strongbox. strong boxes are these booby trap chest things. Some of them have specific types of things in them. The gem cutters one specifically has skill gems in it. Active and supports. I don't know what the actual AoE of this guy's abilities are. Okay, that still hit me. That still hit me.
Sin is the crack through which nightmare seeps. What was your sin,
Damn it.
Bull? Pride?
Alright,
What do you
let
need
us check out what the armor was. I'd use it if the gems were all linked. That's what this one is. I don't think we want to give up that much resistance. Actually, maybe that one's probably worth it because it's got the green gem slots, which we've been wanting for a very long time. So we're gonna go Burning Arrow, faster attacks, and Pierce maybe? Or do we go? Actually, I'm thinking we go Shrapnel Ballista there. Burning Arrow here. Shrapnel Ballista with faster attacks and Pierce. Burning Arrow with... I still really want faster attacks, I think, with Burning Arrow.
I'm watching you.
So yeah, we need to buy another faster attacks gem, which we can buy in Act 2.
You are well.
Thought it was Act 2. What does faster attacks look like? Yeah, I don't see it.
Be well.
Maybe it was Act 3. Library.
Talamuan.
Faster projectiles. Where's faster attacks? Here it is. I don't know why we couldn't find it at the other guy. I'm pretty sure that other guy was supposed to sell it. Whatever. Oh, I screwed this up. Wait, no I didn't. Never mind. Yeah, so instead of Pierce on the Burning Arrow, we got faster attacks. And we still have Trinity, and then Prismatic burst, or do I want lightning damage support? I think lightning damage support, since that's single target.
Remember, life is
And the whole point of the burning arrow is single target. So I'm gonna throw a couple things in the stash here. These boots and this chest armor and this belt. Let's see what we got. So this is gonna be our gem tab. This one's gonna be our flask tab. So if I throw some flasks in here, they'll get put on that tab. And then let's dump all our currency stuff in here. I'll throw that gem. Oh, we still never went and turned in that plum. Let's do that. Act 3, the docks, the docks, the docks. So we get a ring out of it. Yeah, not amazing. We actually need the intelligence on this ring for some of our gems, so I don't think we're gonna give up our damage on the other ring. So this ring's not terrible, but definitely not good enough that we're gonna use it. We'll just throw it in the stash also. And we will look at organizing the stash later if necessary.
Ooh, look at
So yeah, we broke the seal with Deshret's banner, and we also can go over here and get a quest reward. So we can summon a golem. We want to get one of those spells, which I think is generally a good idea. We are limited on what sockets we have, so just because of the socket situation, we're gonna go with the green gem golem, which is crit chance and accuracy. Not terrible. But my preferred golem is the there's a golem that gives you life regen. That's the one I usually prefer to get. But yeah, I'm gonna put him there. So Control Q to summon my golem. If he dies, I will resummon him.
The beast knows that I'm here.
Yeah, we need to just move through this area, get to the next area, and there's a quest in the next area. This is another leak mechanic thing,
Stay in the light,
where you just click these stupid piles of yellow shit, and then you spend that as a currency later on to fight more monsters.
not have but a moment's
Good
respite?
find, Exile.
Alright, mine's level 2. We have a quest here to free a certain tormented soul type of thing. And doing so
Yes, beast.
gives us
Every
a
reason to be afraid.
skill point. So we definitely want to do that quest. I have no idea how much damage the big explosion does, but they sure put a lot of flashy artwork into it, so I assume it's pretty dangerous. Here's Deshret. So we free her.
You will be the first of many to throw off Nightmare's shackles, Deshret.
I think we have this massive shrine thing right now. That really helps kill this red beast guy a lot faster.
You have been captured. You will be a survivor, or you will be food.
So yeah, now we're just trying to move on to the next area again. Colossal life flask. Another essence for us. Sorry, 2 essences. So that's more white items that we can turn into rare items. Let's spend a point here. We got more totem damage. We can also get totem mastery. Let's see. 60% increased global crit chance if you've summoned a totem recently is quite strong. Totems taunt enemies around them for 1 second when summoned is also quite strong. Not in a damaged kind of way, but defensively that's very strong. And these other ones, I don't know if they're that good, but yeah, it's definitely some good totem mastery points you could spend. I guess we're upgrading the bow. So 1 to 29 lightning damage. Ooh, 24%. Oh wait, no, 24% attack speed, but also 25% less global damage. That's not that great. Oh, Sacred Life Flask. Yeah, we're at the point where we're getting more and more rare items, but yeah, if they don't get the sockets, it can be very difficult to justify using them unless they have really good stats. You just gotta be more picky at this point in the game. Oh yeah, also let's get that other skill point from that quest. Deshrit.
I am there. Tortured yet unbroken.
So I think previously what I've done on my bow build was go down this direction because there's more bow damage stuff over here, there's more health stuff over here, and there's projectile damage stuff over here and over here, but I'm not really sure. They've changed things up a little bit over time, so some things are not as not quite as they used to be. Let's go for the crit chance if you've summoned a totem recently. The way increased crit chance works is for attack abilities. You have a base crit chance on your weapon. In this case, I have a 5% crit chance. So that 60% increased global crit chance for if you summoned a totem recently is for force. Recently means in the last 4 seconds. So every time I summon a totem that will buff me for 4 seconds or refresh the buff for 4 seconds to have 60% increased global crit chance. So 60% of 5% crit chance is 3% extra 3% extra crit chance. So if you are using a weapon with a higher base crit chance, then you get a little bit more out of stats that increase your crit chance like that. Whoops. So you may have noticed these bats
grows, beast, so does my resolve.
have been doing a bit of damage to me.
Can I not have
Because they do sort of a big wave attack that you can't really avoid. So a big clump of bats can wreck you if you're not careful. So we're sort of trying to get to the next area, except the next area is like activated by an NPC who happens to also be at the waypoint. So we're sort of just trying to get to that NPC / waypoint area. Nothing else in this area to do. This guy, don't underestimate. For our bow, we have to get this increased attack speed, but 15% less global damage if we want to continue on to these other things. But these other things aren't really that good either. So I think I'm gonna stop using the Crucible for a little while. We have another skill point here. I'm gonna go this way, I guess. So there's bow damage stuff here, but it's not gonna help me too much with my build, so I'm not going for that stuff. Specifically, we do so much elemental damage, and those nodes are not good for elemental damage. They're good for physical damage, and the caustic area they're okay for.
You know, ta-ta.
Alright,
Not a
here's our
cockroach.
next areas. We go this way or that way. Doesn't matter which one you do first.
I stand within the tortured mind of Calm himself.
This one that we're in is a good area to make sure that you have high fire resistance. Especially for the boss fight. But even just in general, a lot of the enemies here do fire damage.
Sleep now, little nightmare.
Has a mod on him that says always crits. That's pretty alarming. Getting crit is a good way to die. Or a bad way to die. Dying is bad. Lightning damage support we can't level up because of not enough intelligence. Yeah, we really need some upgrades like I was talking about earlier. we could get some freaking 4-link gloves. Or I may have to, use that, orb of binding thing. To give myself 4-link gloves. Golden mask, 3 greens and a blue. I can work with that. Oh shit. Exploding crystals 1 hit. It's really annoying. It's a mechanic that spawns crystals on you, which prevents you from being able to stand still.
Far too much baggage.
So what do we got? We can drop this level 18 flask. Poison immunity. That's cool. And do we have 24? We don't have a third one of those. Unfortunate. Let's see what this bow does. Bow does a lot of lightning damage. Very similar to our current bow. It's slower attacks per second though, so it's probably not going to be an upgrade. Let's just look at the DPS of Burning Arrow. 21, 23. Yeah, that's significantly worse. Just because of the attack speed. Unfortunate. For this golden mask, what do we got here? We give it dexterity with this essence. Sure. That's not impressive. Our current status is for our gems. I can actually go over there. For our gems, we don't have anywhere else we could put our vitality aura and our steel skin, both of which are very good for survivability. So I'd like to equip this mask, but we can't really afford to just yet. Not till we have another thing with the red gems in it. Disappointing though, those mods on that mask were pretty bad. I think my golem keeps dying and I haven't really been doing a very good job at noticing it. Another orb of binding, that's good. We just had the right gloves to put it on. Because actually, so the thing is, we kind of do need the red sockets now, though. So maybe we don't even use the orb of binding on it. We just do it like this. Because we really just, we don't even need linked red sockets. We just need the sockets. Red sockets for vitality and steel skin. And then now we have an extra link that I guess we put Pierce on here for the caustic arrow, or volley might be better. Make sure we turn our aura back on since we moved it. So yeah, we could what was I saying? We could turn these gloves into rare. Yeah, it's probably worth it. We gotta pull the gems out and get this thing where it adds physical damage to attacks. So that helps our damage a little bit also. Anyways, we are getting bogged down a little bit too much in the details. We still got a little ways to go to beat Act 4, so try to step up our game here. Without dying. Oh my god, I hate this. These guys that summon these stupid lightning spire things are so fucking annoying. One of the worst experiences in this game. That's a pretty good amount of damage. 41 to 162. Let's just check our burning arrow damage again. See what it does. Nope. So physical damage is pretty good. But yeah. can't make up for that much elemental damage. So this map kind of does this, both this one and the previous map does this kind of a S-shaped winding that you gotta do to get to the exit. So you have to go like that. Oh, I just moved my mouse. Oops. Ooh, 4-link rare boots. What do we got? Not too good. Although, again, our current boots we're only really using because they are 4-link with a couple green slots. So if we get good gloves with green slots, then we can replace these gloves and put these boots on, and that would be a upgrade. Wait, what was our belt's 25 life? Yeah, this is pretty good. What's our worst resistance? Lightning. But yeah, that belt's pretty good. This belt's life and regen, that's also pretty good. Not sure how much DPS we're gonna lose here. Not much at all. We'll keep those other belts in the stash. We shall stash them. Yeah. Always want to stash those relatively good items. Primarily in case you die, so that you can equip them on a different character. Or even if you don't die, if you decide you want to start another character, then you just have some items that'll make leveling a little bit easier. That was annoying. Okay, a good fire resistance ring, but we are not in need of fire resist. Alright, here's the boss fight where I said good to have fire resist. Particularly these things on the sides that shoot out little fireballs all over the place. those do a lot of DPS to you if you stand in them and you don't have good fire resist.
Save your breath for the ancestors, Calm. You'll need it.
Alright, so we're throwing a couple things in the stash real quick. Was I stashing this? I don't think so.
Deshret.
We should really look for any gear that we want to buy, as in 4 links. Nope.
I'm watching you.
And then we shall continue back to this waypoint. We can give her the thing, and then we go on the other side.
Not a cockroach.
I am the Reso, the sword king. It was here in the pits of Leopolis that I made my name, killing rabid dogs and wild boars before I
Whoops.
a man.
It's a dead end.
So glorious of arenas, I care nothing for your past, only your future. And for that, you will have to fight.
We are stacking up the level 36 health flask. We leveled also. So we're gonna take some more evasion rating and armor. As you level up, your percentage of damage reduction and evasion chance goes down, because it's like a rating. It's based on a rating, which is based on the enemy's level for how likely they are to hit you. So as you level up and get up against higher enemies, your armor does less and less for you if you don't upgrade it. So you want to make sure you keep upgrading it, or else you get squishier and squishier over time.
People of the gutters, steal your relics, for the slaughter is at hand. Adequate performance challenger, if a little messy. Yet Barkul and his stinking flock were simply an audition. Welcome to the grand arena of Theopolis.
Crafting recipe.
It is here that I first laid eyes upon my true purpose. My Lady Merveille. Die a death worthy of applause, gladiator.
Yeah, we got a crafting recipe there for adding sockets to items, but they cost those jeweler's orbs, which are the items which add sockets to items. randomly anyways. So it's just a quality of life thing to... It's like bad luck protection, I guess you could say. To use the crafting recipe instead of oh yeah, we've been wanting a quiver for a long time. We're totally equipping this. We go from 1 to 4 physical damage to attacks to 8 to 16 physical damage to attacks, plus attack speed, plus lightning damage to attacks, plus crit chance with bows, all kinds of good stuff. I wonder how much DPS that gave us.
Battle worthy of song. The way you fight reminds me of how it feels to be possessed with the ideal of victory. A king of swords is nothing. Is your passion enough to cleanse crown? Let's see. For honor! I've missed this.
This guy heals a bunch of times during the fight, which is really annoying. But he's not too difficult unless you stand still for either this attack or the one where he summons a bunch of dudes around you.
Love was the blade that you turned upon yourself, Sword King.
Alright, so we come back here, turn in the thing to her. He does something with this cannon thing and blows a hole in the wall. But meanwhile, we can go back to town, get a quest reward. Which, guess what? Support gems. Alright, this is the one I was thinking of a long time ago. Chaos damage over time, but if you use it frequently, since it doesn't stack, it's pretty weak. Oh, what do we actually want? Probably want to increase area of effect support at some point, so we'll take that.
Love for Diala.
And then, once we did that, now we can also look at other options that you can buy. And these are essentially the last skill gems in the game, if I recall correctly. I don't think there's any other tier of skill gems that you can lock after this tier. let's see. Mark on hit is really good. I really need link slots in my bow to actually use that though. So you need a mark skill to go with it, but it's a huge quality of life. So a mark skill is a single target curse ability. You can only have a mark on one enemy at a time. But it's with mark on hit, whenever you hit a rare or unique enemy, it'll automatically apply that mark to that enemy. So very good quality of life.
Take care.
But yeah, we just dump these in the stash. So yeah, if we had a link in our bow, we probably trying to be mark on hit with it. But anyways, let's hurry up and finish Act 4 here.
Nightmare made real.
We've got a few mini bosses and then the final boss to kill. Getting a lot of these sacred life flasks, which is good, so that we can sell them in a bit for the next tier, which is I think it's called Hollowed Life Flasks. That's interesting. %136% increased crit chance against blinded enemies, and nearby enemies are blinded. It's not the best wand ever, but it is pretty good. The fire damage on this wand is it's only for wand attacks. That's not fire damage. If it's they write it differently if it adds fire damage to spells. So it'd be really, really good if it also did fire damage to spells. But even just to attacks, it's pretty good for a spell slinger build. You can roll a rare wand with better damage on it, but those aren't too common. Ooh. Unique blacksmith lockbox. You can actually identify these if you want to and read what they say. So Contains 9 additional rare Mariketh weapons. Contained items are fully linked. They have an additional socket. Their main weapons are animated. I mean, they're gonna attack me? I guess. But I guess there's gonna be 9 weapons that attack me, but maybe any non-weapon items are gonna have an extra socket and be fully linked. Not really sure. Whatever. I like loot. Alright, let's see what we got. Anything good? That one's not too terrible. It's just not gonna compete with what we have. %70 increased physical damage. Interesting. I'll take that wand. Oh, we got a 4-link D-curve bow. We could use a essence on it if we wanted to try our luck. Although it's probably not worth it. The chances of beating this triple damage roll is pretty low. Let's see what this ring is. Not too great. Oh, we got another point. Shit.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
Okay, I got the Blasphemer's Grip. I don't know what exactly the Blasphemer's Grip does, but it makes them more dangerous. Alright, here is where we're gonna have another mini boss fight. And spoiler alert, we're gonna be fighting Piety again. I don't know why we're fighting Piety again, but yeah. New dead ends. Alright. So here's Piety, except she's like this weird monstrosity now. And she actually does a ton of damage. First of all, you don't want to get hit by this giant beam she does. But also her regular attack thing, if she runs up and hits you, deals a ton of damage. So it's very convenient to have totems to tank damage for you. But you see that? She just did almost half my health in one hit. And then you have all these other things going on. Little enemies that spawn. So this fight can be dangerous if you're not prepared for it.
Let's not make this a habit. It really hurts. It was Malachi.
But yeah, the final boss of Act 4 is this Malachi guy. I don't really know what his lore is really about.
Flesh and life. Brilliant. Insane.
He just sort of was like Piety's boss, I guess, or something. Alright. So we gotta kill 3 mini bosses. Then we get to fight the Malachi. And then we're done with Act 4.
A body to kill for.
Well. Seeing as I haven't really been considering it done with the act till you get to the next town for the next act. I guess we're sort of a little farther away than I'd like to be, but
I'm sorry,
we're gonna get it
Malagaro,
done.
but I can be quite critical
Unless I randomly die.
to art. Can I not have but a moment's respite?
This boss is, she spits this red shit at you, which does a lot of damage. And then there's also these zones on the ground, which curse you. So I think it's the red one makes you take more damage. The purple one slows you, and the green one makes you deal less damage. So
The only way to
they're all a bit annoying. But the red one's the one where you can get one shot. And since the purple one slows you, it makes it harder to dodge her attacks. But yeah, again, it's one of those things where if you get your totems, the boss, the mini boss attacks the totems some of the time at least, which gives you more opportunity to do damage. If you don't have totems, then you're doing 0 DPS when you're trying to dodge,
The world doesn't want
which in turn causes a lot of people to get killed because they are just standing there doing DPS and not playing as defensively as they should. Alright, so we got these 3 organs from those dudes, and Black Core opens up, and then Piety comes with us to fight Malachi.
So now it is up to us to commit one final act of creation. A single death that will mark the rebirth of an entire world.
Now, Exile!
So yeah, she actually like removes his immunity shield. But then she turns into a monster again, and you gotta kill her.
Fight, die and be reborn.
So yeah, he just kind of puts this giant spear through her, and
Now, let us see
unfortunate.
if we understand what it means to be Nightmare. Accept the gift of immortality.
Yeah, this guy uses these things to heal himself up. So it's pretty annoying. You gotta take his health down until he heals, and then you gotta kill the thing that healed him.
Accept the gift of immortality.
Ow. So much stuff going on that you gotta keep an eye on your health. Be ready to press that health potion button.
Nightmare is the true eternal. Why are you so in love with death?
So yeah, not too bad. Some gloves. Let's pick out this armor. Got this and this. So really on boots, what you really want is health, but also movement speed. Alright, so these gloves are specifically for a minion build. Our little turret things are considered totems, which are a different thing from minions. So these gloves don't do anything for me. So we're stashing them. Oh, we never set up our unique tab to take uniques, apparently. And then I don't think we're keeping this other stuff.
The nightmare is...
Alright, so yeah, that's, like I said, that's basically it for Act 4, except we have to still run to the next town
You had hunt well.
for Act 5, which is kind of a longer process than usual. But let's do it. We gotta get through this snowy area, and then we gotta get through this prison sort of area. This guy is... oh, I see, he's a soul eater.
And kindly stay dead.
So a soul eater, when you kill their allies, they become more powerful. So usually you notice it too late and you kill all their allies first, and then they just become super tanky and annoying. And also, depending on your build, you may not really have a good way to even single target them down anyways. So yeah, it's actually a special monster mechanic that doesn't really have very good counterplay. Now let's level up some gems here. And the skill point. Alright. Yeah, this is essentially Act 5, but we want to get to the town. Almost there. Nope. For us to get a bow upgrade, it's gonna have like really good stats. Like if you want a physical damage bow, it needs to have percent physical damage and flat physical damage. Otherwise, it's just not good enough. So yeah, to get through this map, we essentially go kind of this clockwise shape where we're gonna get to this mini boss here, and then once we kill him, we can move to the town. The exit shall open. Let me in, let me in. So yeah, now we are in Act 5. So yeah, that's it for today.